and welcome back to another episode of Mid-American Gardener. I'm your host and Master Gardener Intern, Tinisha Shade-Spain, and we've got a great show lined up tonight. We're going to do things a little different. We're not taking calls, but our panelists have some wonderful show and tells and some really great email questions to ask, so you definitely will not be missing out. So let's just jump right in and have them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit more about their specialty and where their passion lies. So Kelly, we'll start down with you.
Hi, my name is Kelly Allsup, and I am an extension educator in horticulture based out of Bloomington. I serve Livingston, McLean, and Woodford. My interest since getting my job have been pollinators and butterflies and beneficial insects, and I am sitting next to one of my personal heroes. So, and he knows this. We go way back. But before I started extension, I was a grower in a greenhouse, and so integrated pest management and some of those houseplant things are really where my expertise lies.
Okay. Now, after that,
the hero. I'm Phil Nixon. I'm an extension entomologist with the University of Illinois, and so I cover bugs. So insect questions that Kelly doesn't want to handle or don't want to handle, I will handle. So yeah, the buck stops here when it comes to 6 legs.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Nelson, and I write a blog called Grounded and Growing, and my favorite things are just general horticulture, vegetable gardening, and houseplants.
Wonderful. Okay, so like I said, we've got a lot of show and tells to get to, so Kelly, we'll start down with you.
Okay,
What'd you bring us?
Phil is going to help me. Thank you, sir. I wanted to bring in one of my favorite houseplants. Now, this is called ZZ plant. I cannot tell you what the genus and species is because it's Zamba something. So we just call it ZZ plant.
Zambia, probably. Psychic.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so what is so amazing, if you're on the lookout for houseplants, this is the one you should grow because it doesn't take very much light. You can basically abuse it.
Yes.
And it will still look beautiful. Now look how shiny and gorgeous it is. And you know, I'm not the best at taking care of things. You know, you notice how horticulturists are not the best, but I do water it every now and then, and it's so shiny and perfect looking, you can hardly see any plant damage too. So the only problems I ever see with this is because I've actually tried to green up my office, and so I've put many of these ZZ plants in some of my colleagues' offices and throughout our office, so we'd have that freshness and that greenness of the office. Is if you don't water it, which you can go a while without watering this, but you know, some people just don't water plants at all.
You can only push them so far.
I know, and I'm just like, you know, it's a good plant, but you still have to water it. You know, my average to watering it is when I have it inside, is, you know, once or twice, once a week is when I usually check it, and I'm always lifting it to make sure I'm not going to overwater it. But it's just a wonderful plant, and Jennifer loves this plant too. I think I've read an article of yours where you've written about it.
Yep, there was an article I read where the person wanted to see how bad could they abuse it and still have it live. So they put it in a closet, pitch dark, for 2 weeks, no water, no light, and it still looked fine at the end. So it's a more expensive houseplant, so you might have a little sticker shock when you see it at the store, but it's because it's super hard to propagate. And I've tried it at home, and it failed miserably, and it takes forever. You can propagate from a leaflet, one of these little leaves, and it'll take about 18 months to even start rooting.
Cow.
So I'll pay $20 and get one that already looks okay.
Every now and then I'll try to do division with the
I was
master
gonna ask about
gardeners
that.
because
I've
the
tried
master
it.
gardeners will want, you know, I do a propagation workshop with the master gardeners every year. So they'll want me, but it just doesn't, you know,
It
just go out
doesn't
and buy
work.
it.
Yeah.
And don't pot it up too much. Like if it came in a 6-inch pot, put it in an 8-inch or a 10-inch pot. Don't put it in a 14-inch
Right.
pot right away. And just gradually let it tell you when it needs to pot up. Will I pot this up next year? Probably not. I'll probably wait another year.
I had mine
Interesting.
flower, and it's not
Yeah.
real
We have a
spectacular,
flower.
but there you go.
And
There
it looks
it
like a little like peace lily.
Yeah.
Looks like a spathe is what we call it in horticulture world. And it just really is not very showy, but there's a flower.
It kind of grows. It kind of looks like little potatoes what it grows from. And I tried splitting some off, and it just did not work to try to divide it. So yeah,
Interesting.
definitely.
I was
go
going
out
to
and
ask
buy
if
one.
dividing it was.
It didn't. When I did it, it didn't work. That doesn't mean I won't try it again.
Well, yeah, of course.
Being a greenhouse grower, I'm always, one for supporting the industry. Let them do the hard work.
Yeah.
You just get the beautiful plant and keep it alive.
There you go. Okay, that is pretty though.
Thank you.
All right, Phil.
Thank
we're
you,
going
Phil.
to move to you. We're talking caterpillars, I believe.
Yes, I need to correct something that I said right off the bat. And that is that I got my African countries mixed up with my genera of cycads. It's not Zambia, that's a country in Africa. It's Zamia, which is a genus of cycads. Zamia, if my memory serves me right.
Notice I was just going to go with it.
Yeah.
I was just going to go
You're
with
the
it.
expert. You could have just went with that.
And there's a native one from Florida. This is not the native one from Florida. That's a whole different look. It's very close related. It's in the same genus. But make sure you get the right one. And by the way, the cycads were around when the first dinosaurs were around. So it's a long, old type of conifer, actually. Cool. Or a conifer group. Gymnosperm. Anyway, back to bugs. I'm into dinosaurs, so I had to know all that. So, one thing that people get interested enough is as late summer comes, getting into fall and so on, is the woolly bear caterpillars around, and you kind of have to have goggles on to not see them at all, or blinders. They're crawling across the roads and as you're driving down the road, and so you're squishing innumerable ones as you drive on the highways. But the banded woolly bear is one that has black on the front and the back, and then an orange band in the center. And it is the one that is sometimes looked at colloquially as something that you would use to determine what the winter is going to be like coming up. And the band across. The idea is that how wide the black band is at the head area indicates how early and severe the early part of the winter will be, and how wide the black band is going to tell you how late the winter will last into the early spring, and how severe it is. And then if you have a wide orange band in the center, that it will end up indicating that you're going to have a mild winter. It's going to be a long mild spell in the middle of the winter. And is that really true? No, it's malarkey. The point is that as the woolly bear grows, the banded woolly bear, the orange band gets larger as it gets older. In other words, not only does it get bigger, larger because the caterpillar gets bigger, but as it molts, and it will molt several times, probably 5 times growing up as a caterpillar, as it molts, the orange band gets to be a larger proportion of the body. And so if you really want to think you're going to have a nice winter, always make sure you check later towards Halloween or something, because by then they're going to have a broad orange band. But if you check them back in August, they're going to have a narrow orange band. The same caterpillar, by the way. So there is a difference in how big the orange band is. Does relate somewhat to how healthy the caterpillar is, but that has more to do with what the winter before was like. And so the banded woolly bear will kind of tell you that what the winter was last winter, which most of the time we already know. You know, we didn't spend the whole time in Florida. So it's a case of where it'll tell you what it was last year, but not necessarily what's coming up the next year. So, and it is the banded woolly bear, the one that has the bands on it. And there's a photo of the adult stage of the banded woolly bear, and as you can tell, it's just a comma. It's a brownish moth with some spots on it. Nothing that's really fancy about it. Some people get the idea, well, if the caterpillar's neat, the moth must be really neat. No, it's not really that case. Sometimes it is, but not always. Most of the time, not. And then there's some other species of woolly bears out there that you can get confused with. The most common one probably out there is the yellow woolly bear. that will actually feeds on lamb's quarters. It's a weed feeder as well as will eat your sunflowers in your garden and your rhubarb and various other things. It's a very broad spectrum. But the yellow woolly bear, as well as its close relative, the salt marsh caterpillar, are both woolly bear caterpillars in which the color may be pure white, it may be all yellowish, it may be all reddish, it may be kind of darkish, any shade in between. It's all the same two species of caterpillar, woolly bears. And so the idea that people will go out and they'll say, well, I found a bunch of them that were all yellowish. Does that mean we're not going to have a winter? And I go, no, that means you're looking at the wrong woolly bear. And so that's a factor. And then there is also a species called leopard moth that will have has the woolly bear there, the caterpillar, is all black. And I've had people calling up and says, I think I'm going to have to leave for the whole winter because I saw this woolly bear that's all black. It means the winter's going to be horrible. No, it's the wrong woolly bear again. And the leopard moth is actually named by its moth. It's a white moth with black spots all over it. And the woolly bears in general feed on a lot of different types of trees and shrubs and plants, weeds and other low-growing plants. And so they're very common. And they're interesting as well in that the woolly bears overwinter as caterpillars. It's unusual. We tend to think in terms we learned in grade school that caterpillars pupate or form cocoons, and they spend the winter that way, and they come out. And then as you went through school, you found out that most of what you learned as a kindergartner has shades of gray associated with it. And so no, it's not all that way. Some butterflies overwinter as adults, some moths do, but this is one that overwinters as a caterpillar. So when you're out in the shed or the garage in the wintertime and you run across this woolly bear underneath a board or something out there, and you wonder, oh, it's going to freeze, it didn't form its cocoon and all this sort of stuff. No, it's right exactly where it wants to be, where a mouse can't find it, and it can hang out for the winter, and you can find out that it's in good shape because you put it in your bare hand, it'll start to move around after a few seconds as it warms up. Don't bring it in, you will shorten its lifetime. Leave it where it was.
Well, I'll have to break that news to my son because he likes to bring them in because they need to be warm. So
now, see,
now that I know,
raising children is all about education.
There's those shades of gray that you mentioned.
That's right. That continues through their entire life.
Okay, Jennifer, you've got some cacti.
Yeah.
Plural, cacti?
Cacti. Yeah, I wanted to show things that you can do that you can buy when you're out shopping for other seeds for the garden. We bought some cactus seed this spring, and these are the little seedlings. I wasn't the best caretaker, and so this is what survived, but they survived. And I was talking with Phil before the show, and he had said he had tried it and he never got anything. And the first time I did it, I didn't think I had any sprouts, and then I stuck the tray in a Ziploc bag, and after a day or two, all of a sudden I had a bunch of sprouts. And this is one of the seeds from that I started 26 years ago in high school.
Wow.
So random. It survived, and it survived in spite of me, not because of me. I will tell you, it's been through, high school, college, grad school, being forgotten about for a year or more, and now it actually has its own pot and is some level of care, and it's started to grow again, and it's looking. I have one other one that survived from that experiment back in high school.
Wow!
But just something fun you can do with your kids, and these appear to all be the same, but out of a packet of seeds, you should get kind of a mix of different ones, and just something fun to try. And
absolutely,
we didn't do anything special. We didn't go anywhere special to find these. We found these in a big box store in that big display that comes out in like January. So
interesting.
Find something like that and try it.
This is another one of those like the ZZ where you can just abuse it.
Very much so, and I can testify that is very much the case.
I knew her in grad school.
Yes.
So you, in essence, knew the cactus.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she spent a lot of time in that office.
Yeah, you can testify to the fact that I probably neglected a lot of stuff in life at that point.
Awesome. Okay. All right, Kelly, we're back to you. You've got a vegetable gardening book.
Yes, I'm definitely loving some of the stuff that's coming out of the U of I lately. This is a vegetable gardening of the Midwest book, and it's definitely for the homeowner who's trying to grow different vegetables. You want to experiment. This was originally written by one of our horticulturist extraordinaires, Chuck Voigt, also a panel member here. I remember in college hearing about him, and then when I was in the greenhouse, I grew a bunch of stuff for him. But so the some extension specialists have updated the book with pictures and newer cultivars, and I absolutely love this book. The reason is because it is my go-to. When I am writing about growing vegetables, or I am planning to grow a certain vegetable, I always go and reread the section again, because it always gives me really useful information. He tells you how to plant, how to care for it, how to harvest. Then they have these really cool question and answers of commonly asked questions about that particular vegetable that I think is extremely helpful. And then the cultivars at the very end, they have a whole section at the very end on different cultivars that I think again is extremely helpful. For instance, I just want to bring up an example. You know, a lot of us can't grow watermelon because we just don't have that huge of a garden. But you go here and they show you some of the cultivars like Sugar Baby that grows a very small watermelon. And, you know, maybe you need a little bit more room than, you know, just a pot, but it's still something that you can think about growing. So I love it that it kind of empowers you to grow some new stuff and think about it. Jennifer, did you use this book all the time?
Yes, and I still do.
Yeah.
That is a great book. And I also, for people like me who are newer, it really hones in on your zone and what will thrive. Because sometimes when you don't know where you are, what zone you're in, you'll just try to plant something and it doesn't do well here. So that's great for people who are just starting out to say, okay, this can grow here.
And all the information's right there that you need to get going. You don't have to go be paging back and forth, and it's indexed really well.
And so the University of Illinois has a website called Pubs Plus. And you can type Pubs Plus in and click on the gardening tab, and you will see this and many other gardening books that University of Illinois publishes. And I think it's $28.50. And then some of the extension offices are actually selling it. You know, I have a host of books in my office where I sell it at different programs that I do. So it's just really easy, great book to go for. And
absolutely, very handy. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, Phil, we're talking about apple pests.
And I use that book every year when I go to plant my garden to know in my part of the state what is the best time to plant this type of vegetable. It's all in there. And then also how deep to plant the seed. It's all in there. It's really a good source. And it's great.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm talking about apple pests. We had a viewer send in an email, Paul from Peoria, and he says, I live in the Peoria area. And as you can see in the picture, I have an issue with a pest. I've had the tree sprayed, even tried tanglefoot on red ornaments. This is to control a apple maggot. That's later in the season. Still get most of my apples with this damage. Can you tell me how to defeat these bugs and get more good apples? Well, he has what's called in the trade a gnarly apple, or a knobby apple. Or when I was growing up, my mother called them applesauce apples, and the trade calls them cider apples. Okay, they're known in the trade as cider apples. And so you get a good idea what the apples look like that your cider is made out of. Okay, there are a lot of things that cause a gnarly apple, and I was able to get one that has one gnarl on it, but they commonly have them all over. And there's so many things that can cause this. It's really just a plethora of things. One is if it happens to be cold, or windy when the flowers are pollinating, such as the bees and the flies and the beetles and all these other things that pollinate apples. are not out there. It needs to be ideally around 45 degrees or warmer, and there shouldn't be real strong winds for the bees to get around and position themselves. You know, you're flying, you're going to have a serious crosswind or you're in bad shape. Okay, and so they don't get them pollinated properly. And if an apple that is not properly pollinated will be gnarly. Will have all these bumps all over it. So it may be warm enough, but you don't have enough pollinators in your area. You don't have a beekeeper nearby, or you don't have enough native bees. There's lots of native bees that will pollinate your apples for you as well. Another thing is that a very common disease problem that we have called apple scab will cause you to have gnarly apples. Normally, if it's apple scab it's involved, you're going to have black spots on the leaves. If the leaves haven't fallen off by too many black spots, okay, it will cause defoliation of the tree. There are sprays that will help reduce that, although it's touchy to get the right spray on at the right time. There are also insects that will cause this. Rosy apple aphid will feed on the apple as developing, and also stink bugs, the brown marmorated stink bug, the brown stink bug. There's several stink bugs that will feed on apples, and when they feed on it, or an aphid feeds on it, it tends to kill that little part, or not kill it, but make it so that it doesn't grow as well, and then the apple expands and grows around it, and thus you get gnarls. Okay, so all of those things can cause that. Essentially, when you use, you got to realize that apples are created, the tree grows them to be eaten, and not by people. Tree grows them so that, as we go back into paleontology, apparently they were developed so that mammoths and mastodons, nor elephants, prehistoric elephants would eat them and walk around a while, and then, as you know, all things, as they walk around a while, something comes out the back end, and included in that would be apple seeds, all right? And so they are made to be eaten, and they're made to be tasty by the plant. It wants them to be eaten. And so bugs have figured out a way that, hey, this is good food too, and so they take advantage of that. And so that's a factor that we have associated with the gnarly apples, that you really have to spray fairly often to keep the insects off, usually about every 2 weeks with a multi-purpose fruit tree spray. Follow the directions. Don't spray when the tree is blooming. You don't want to bother the bees. Rest of the time you can. And then you may also need to watch at the temperature when it's pollinating. All these sorts of things are things you have to take into account, because everything in the world likes apples as well as you do.
But you can still enjoy them.
Still enjoy them.
They don't have to be picture perfect.
And like I said, I grew up with those being sauce apples.
Yeah, yeah.
They make good applesauce.
Okay. Okay, all right. Jennifer, we're going to go to you. We're talking about...
My show and tell.
Yes. Oh, yes. This
Giant show and tell.
How could I forget?
And I have to say that this giant show and tell is thanks to my son, Andrew. And he was shopping for seeds with me last winter, and he came up with this packet, and he said, Mommy, we have to grow this. We have to. So they are snake gourds, and they are Legionaria ciceraria, also called a zucca gourd, and they were brought to America by Sicilians, and they actually can be eaten when they're small. They don't taste like anything. They're used to like extend jams and jellies, make them last longer. But they're hugely heavy, and as my son was watching this grow, and he's monitoring this thing in the garden, and I realized midsummer that he came to me and said, Mommy, I think I see where the eyes are going to be. I think I see where the mouth is going to be, and maybe where the rattle's going to be. I realized he thought we were growing actual snakes. So I hated to burst his 5-year-old bubble and tell him that, no, buddy, these are not going to be real snakes. But once we've picked them, now what do we do with them? You know, keep them somewhere that's warm and dry, let them dry out, and they will get kind of woody and hollow, and we'll be able to paint them. So yes, they will look like the snakes on the packet. But these come in all kinds of other shapes too. You might have seen the birdhouse gourds, or there's ones that are dippers.
Yeah.
This
is very cool.
Kind of resembles like the Ricola commercial, and it's really heavy too. They can get enormously bigger than what I'm showing here.
I can see. Down on this end, that's going to be a great snake. Once you put some eyes on that one, that's going to turn out really great.
You got a winter craft sitting right
there. You
in front of
go.
us.
There you go. Okay, awesome. All right, Kelly, we're going to go to you. We've got a plant ID. Attached is a photo. This is from Don, by the way. Attached is a photo of what I think is a type of weed. I've just noticed a few of them this summer and was wondering what they are. I was born and raised on a farm, and I can identify most plants, but this one is unfamiliar. So,
Well, I am going to promote another book just because I'm a book freak and I love U of I resources because they're what I'm dealing with on a daily basis. So I just picked up my handy Identifying Weeds in the Midwestern Turf and Landscape, also available on Pubs Plus and in your extension website, and started thumbing through the book. And my first instinct was henbit, but henbit doesn't have the petioles like this plant does. So then I Googled henbit and lookalikes. And so I found what I think it is. I think it is a purple dead nettle, which is a winter annual that is a rosette in the fall and then again blooms in the spring. However, that is just a guess. Sometimes I'm like, wait for it to flower before I can tell you what it is for sure. Or I'm like, why do you want to know? So that is just a guess. I think it's probably in the mint family. But it would be in the mint family. It had square stems.
okay.
And that's my best guess.
Okay. All right. Well, that does it for us on this show. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Make sure you find us on all of our socials and our podcasts, wherever you podcast. Just search for Mid-American Gardener. We'll see you next time.